Supposed to take William Joyce alive if he doesn't put up a fight.
Please, let me go. I can shut the hell up.
Hello everyone, it's Leon here from GamesRadar, and I am joined by Joe.
Hello.
Who has been playing quite a lot of Quantum Break.
Yes, indeed.
And your main revelation from that is?
That, contrary to the big media spiel of it's the huge interactive cross-media future of entertainment experience, actually what it is just a really good new Max Payne game with extra time powers.
Cool, so it's basically like Max Payne leveled up. And learned more than just slowing stuff down.
That's it. The way Sam Lake puts it is that in Max Payne you were experiencing the inside of Max Payne's head, which is he's got great reactions basically.
Yeah, he's really fast.
Yeah. Whereas in this case, you are Jack Joyce, who has been bombarded by chronon energy in a lab experiment gone wrong, and now he can control time in various different ways.
So we've seen the powers before, but you've had a good chance to sort of mess around with them. Just sort of quickly just run through the kind of the best ones and the interesting uses.
So there are like 5 powers. One of them is basically Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision, so we'll just skip over that. But certainly my favourite is Time Stop, which we've seen before, but it's never been fully explained. It's kind of your all-purpose battlefield control mechanism. So what you do is you point at someone and you make a big bubble of frozen time around them, and anything in it gets stuck. So that can be really useful for if there's a big armoured enemy that you can't deal with. If there's a big crowd of guys, you just freeze him, deal with everyone else, come back to him. Or you can pump it full of bullets, and then when the bubble collapses about 5 seconds after it, all the bullets just sort of hit like a massive shotgun blast.
Yes.
And it's just incredibly satisfying to just pump this thing and watch it go orange as it fills with tracer light, like all prismatically reflected and stuff. Just brilliant. And then you've got a dodge, a shield, but then they sort of double up as melee attacks. And another thing that's very interesting about this is, as an action game, is it's really offensive. It treats it like it introduces itself as a cover shooter, and then very quickly teaches you that you cannot stay behind cover for any length of time because guys will run at you. Like the AI is specifically designed to push you out of cover at all times, and so it becomes part melee game, part brawler almost, which is really interesting.
It reminds me a bit like that Tomb Raider did that really well, where they were always kind of pushing you out from behind cover,
and it borrows the dynamic cover. So you walk up to cover and Jack Joyce automatically ducks behind it. Yeah. It's a straight rip from the new Tomb Raider games in that sense. And it's great. Like it just feels incredibly natural and teaches you its challenges and your powers to deal with those challenges, and then subverts those powers by giving your enemies some of them as well.
Yes.
As you play, and you get 4 of the 5 powers within, I would say, an hour and a half of playing the game.
No messing about.
No, it's just like, here's everything, and we're going to throw harder and harder fights at you as you go on. It's fantastic. Like, it feels great.
You mentioned the enemies, because some of them can suppress your powers, and some of them have their own versions.
Yeah,
of them,
so the only version of this I've actually seen hands-on are the Strikers, which are you might have seen them in previous showings of the game, which is guys in these big white suits with weird like bobbles all over them.
Yeah, the weird heads.
Yeah, and they can basically dodge as fast as you can. So it becomes a battle of not just managing space like you usually are, because it's actually quite a tactical, on-the-fly tactical game.
Yeah.
They just start rushing at you and moving out of the way of your bullets and your time stops and stuff like that. So it's much harder to control them. It becomes a much more frenetic game when they're in play. But we're told that as the game goes on, there are grenades that can take away your powers. There are guys with dampening fields who can't have powers used on them. Right. So it seems to be, as the game goes on, it just pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay, well, so the next thing then, after all the time powers, is obviously the TV show integration. Now, I'm already thinking in my head, I'm just going to skip. I just want to play the game, But it works?
It works. I think it's going to... Well, it certainly doesn't live up to the idea of, like, this is your new form of entertainment. And unfortunately, that's because mostly the TV show is a bit duff. Well, one episode of it is. Right. I haven't seen more than one.
How does it actually fit in then? So how does it integrate between game to TV show to out?
So every act has a set structure. There are 5 acts in the game, but there are 4 ones with a TV show at the end, and then the 5th act has the ending.
Yeah.
The act structure is you get 3 parts of straight gameplay, which is playing as Jack Joyce doing his thing. And then the 4th part is you switch control in gameplay to Paul Serene, the antagonist, who is presented with a sort of... It's basically like a mini Life is Strange, right?
Yeah.
So you're presented with a little gameplay space to go and look around. You can find objects that are that basically trigger... They will remember this moments that come back later on just as... Like,
time will remember this.
well, basically, yeah. The universe, the cosmic direction will remember you doing things. So you can like find little objects that will come back later in the game as sort of reference points. And then at the end of this gameplay section, you're presented with a choice, and it kind of pops up with two options, and you press a button to select it. But selecting it plays a little cutscene of what the effects of that decision will be in the long term. So it gives you that Life is Strange thing of you're never making a choice blind. It gives you a sense of where the game's going to go from there. Once you've made that choice, it becomes it segues straight into the TV show, and you get a 20-minute episode where about, I would say, at most a quarter of the episode is affected by that choice. Otherwise, it's a set, a set path.
Yeah.
We're told that there are basically, including those little remember me sections, remember this elements. There are 42 different ways that the game can play out, but the ending will always be the same.
Does it do that sort of thing where it kind of go like you'll have, killing this guy is bad, but I'll get something good out of it?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, without giving too much away, the first choice revolves around how you deal as the the owner of this evil corporation. How do you deal with this witness? And dealing with them more harshly kind of benefits you. It benefits the evil corporation, so you are role-playing to a certain extent, but then it will become more it changes the atmosphere of the game from that point on, which can come all the way down to like certain radio stations will have different presenters and play different kinds of music to sort of change the feeling of the game. So yeah, it's interesting, but unfortunately the TV show's a bit Sci-Fi Channel as opposed to HBO.
But the Max Payne-ness of it is worth it.
Absolutely. Like, if you're into Remedy action games, this is the return of that. Alan Wake was a bit more story-focused and a bit less combat-savvy, and this feels a lot more like we know exactly what we're doing and we're going to throw fun your way as often as we can.
I do like fun.
Fun is good in games, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For more on Quantum Break, you can read Joe's preview on the site, and we'll have more videos on the channel.
Jack, we gotta go.
Hold on.